Hi, I'm Tyler with BOROUX, and today we're going to be unboxing and setting up our BOROUX Legacy system as well as our BOROUX foundation filters. Let's go ahead and get washing the system first. Alrighty, now that we've got our system all clean, let's go ahead and install our spigot. I'm gonna move some things to the side here. So we have our spigot, and we have one beveled washer, silicone, and we have another silicone washer, and then we have the nut itself. So we're gonna go ahead and install this going upside down. We're gonna go upside down first, have our beveled silicone washer go on the inside. We should have one on the inside and one on the outside. Go ahead and get that on the body of the spigot. Then we're going to go ahead and screw on to finish the installation. You're going to want to screw this on all the way, just hand tight. And then once you have it hand tight, you're going to want to hold the nut inside and turn the spigot clockwise. So that way it creates a good seal on both sides. That way we don't have any leaks or a mess in the morning. Go ahead and move on to our hole plugs. So go ahead and grab your hole plugs and take off the wing nut and one of the silicone washers. You're going to go ahead and take the body of the hole plug with one silicone washer on it, and you're going to insert it into the upper chamber. Find one of your vacant holes and go ahead and put on the next silicone washer onto the body of the hole plug. Then tighten your wing nut. We want to just get this hand tight and twist on both sides so it makes a good seal on both sides. Let's just get the next one installed. Now we're going to go ahead and start priming our BOROUX foundation filter. So we're going to take our priming tool and we're going to fit it up and over the sink faucet. Now we want to make sure that we get enough up on there because we don't want water squirting out of the top. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our faucet just very lightly. Now the trick is we want to get the water pressure just right. Insert the stem of it into the blue priming tool. We can feel the filter filling up with water right now. You can see it's coming out of the top here a little bit, but our filter is priming. And we want to see that water come out all the whole length of the filter. Now that our filters are fully primed and we've removed all of the air pockets out of the filters, we're ready to install them into our system. We're going to go ahead and grab our BOROUX filters, put on one of our washers, and we're going to insert the body of the filter inside of the upper chamber. Go ahead and find one of those unoccupied holes here, and we're going to stick our stem through and grab our wing nut and go ahead and just hand tighten that just like the hole plugs. So that's one installed. Let's go ahead and get that next one installed. Now that our filters are installed in the system, we're ready to perform that red dye test. Now this red dye test is to ensure that the filters are not leaking out of these bottom contact points with the upper chamber. We don't want unfiltered water going past these points. We want them going through the filters. So that's why we're going to perform this red dye test to make sure that we have our installation 100% correct. So we're going to need some things to go ahead and perform this red dye test. Of course, we're going to need the red dye that came with our BOROUX foundation filters, as well as a couple of things that you might have in your kitchen. We're going to go ahead and grab a pitcher. That way we can mix our red dye and water in the pitcher rather than in the upper chamber. We'll go ahead and grab 2 cups so that way we can set our upper chamber on the cups. That way you can filter through and we can watch what our test is doing, as well as a spoon to mix and a 1/8 teaspoon measuring so we can mix that exact amount that we need. So So I'm gonna grab first my 2 cups and the upper chamber so we can line up everything before we fill up any water. Get that lined up as best as you can. That way it sits on top of our glasses, and then we'll go ahead and fill up with water. Alrighty, so we got our red dye here. Now we want to be really careful. We want to make sure not to get this on our clothes or our hands because it is concentrated red dye. Don't want to be making a mess. Once we get that open, we're going to take again our 1/8 teaspoon. We're going to mix that with our pitcher. Get that nice and mixed up. Put our red dye and water mixture into the upper chamber. We're gonna wanna do this a total of 3 times since this is a 3-gallon system. If filters still aren't submerged, go ahead and just use the rest with just plain water. Filled our chambers all the way to the top here. Now we're watching to make sure none of our red dye is going into these cups on the bottom here. Now once we are sure that no red dye is going into these lower cups, we know that we have installed our filters correctly and they're working perfectly. And we can go ahead and finish our installation. We are ready to start filtering some water through our BOROUX Legacy system. We're gonna go ahead and put on our lid, and we are ready to start drinking our nice BOROUX filtered water. Well, thank you guys again for watching, and my name is Tyler with BOROUX.com, and we hope you love your new BOROUX Legacy systems.